evaluation of that. Obviously, you have to, with your team, have to pick one. But what's the timetable for that? Is it ready
You
next
might
year,
hear something
2
in a
years?
month.
Pardon me?
You may hear something in a month.
And then, but again, that's to pick one, but then.
Not to pick one, to try to start the design and to start to understand where we're going with it. This is gonna probably move quicker than we think. That's why you're gonna probably hear something quite soon.
But the plan itself, would it be implemented next year?
No, I talked about that. It can't be, there's not enough time to do it next year.
2
but-
years, 3, what's?
No, we're talking about in the next 5 years, you're gonna see a great train. But I'm saying that the start of it will you will probably hear what the plan is gonna be in the next month or so.
Second thing was, you mentioned playgrounds, and my understanding though, in terms of, say, the playground we have here, not still Meadow property.
So that's why it benefits us to be partnering with the city now to run our facilities.
But you can do, in other words, you can take it, or.
Not taking it, we're now partnering with the city. So a part of the asset management group, I am the only Board of Ed member that's on the asset management group now that oversees facilities. The other 3 members are city officials, people who work for the city. So that's why we're not saying, oh, that's city. No, that's Board of Ed. These are all the playgrounds in Sanford, and we are going to repair all of them.
And.
It's a different way that we're
Okay.
trying to run facilities.
And being more specific, this playground here used to be one of the nicest ones in the district, and now is
Yeah,
almost, I have to say, a shambles.
it is.
Do you know, or can you tell us? I know Lucero has told me, which he didn't know, what can you tell us about this playground?
So we can talk about what specifically has been done currently. I know your wood chips have been put down because they've been put down at all the playgrounds. There are pieces of them that needed to be fixed at 3 different locations, and I know that Still Meadow is one of them. And so those parts have been ordered, and when they come in, we have already contracted with a company that's ready to install them. So with playgrounds, you're not able to just say, okay, we want you to go fix those playgrounds. You have to be certified to fix the playgrounds, and Playground Medic is the people that we've selected to be our vendor for this, and then Viking is the company that is working with them as soon as the parts come in to be able to put them in place.
So we're looking at, within this year, the place.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
within the next few weeks you
But I
should
know
have
the
it.
retaining wall has to be.
Yeah, no, I
addressed.
released the money. They came to me with a complete quote for the entire school district, and we released the money for all of the parts to be ordered and to put in place. We're no longer doing the, you call me, so I'm gonna fix yours. You call me, and we just did not have a comprehensive way to deal with our playgrounds. And then you will watch during budget season that we will talk about this line item is specifically for making sure we do regular repairs on our playgrounds. Because playgrounds are different than other things that we need to fix. We need to fix them immediately because people have access to them 24 hours a day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, in the playground room. So I understand you already ordered the parts to
Yes.
fix the playground. But it's only like putting fix whatever is broken. Are you considering like making all the playground to look nicer, or at least close to that were at the beginning?
Yeah, so I wish that was at the top of our list of things to do. Right now, we only have the plan to repair the playgrounds. We have so many capital things that need to be done within the inside of all of our buildings that's where we're spending our resources right now. But as we work down the list and we get those things done, we definitely will pay attention to playgrounds. Now, I will tell you, there have been a couple of playgrounds, Toquan being one of them, that were so bad and so many injuries were happening, we had to take the entire thing out and put in a new playground. And so we will be watching each of the playgrounds very carefully because they become a safety hazard for not just our schools, but our community. And so we need to make sure that we're keeping them up to date. But a long-term goal would be to replace all of our playgrounds. Hi.
What's going to happen to those buildings, like let's say the Clunins and the...
That's a good question. We don't know yet. So if we, the question is, would another school fit well on that site, that we could flatten that and build a new school on that site? So there's a lot of conversations going on right now. And listen, this is so exciting, but so new for all of us. We are really walking into what are all of our options and looking at all of our options. I spend many of my weekends driving around looking at different locations and kind of thinking, oh yeah, that would make sense. And then we're running analysis too, because we know that people love to go to school in the feeder patterns in which they're going to school right now. I'd like to try to keep those in place. People enjoy the fact that we have magnet options. We want to keep those things in place. So, and we have just specific locations that we can put schools to make sure that it stays in the feeder pattern, that bus costs don't go up. So there's just a lot of things that we're trying to think about to make sure that we are making a comprehensive plan that works for our entire city. Yes.
Just a question for me too.
You have questions
I
too?
do. I do.
You're on the panel.
So are we looking, and I don't know if it's even possible, but as we look at other options for capacity of, buildings, are we looking at a uniform number of sections in a building for grade levels so that, and I think parents would be interested to know this, if I have to have 7 sections this year, it impacts me for the next 5 years.
Right.
Where you're moving teachers to follow,
Yeah.
that expansion.
Yeah, so some of the things that we're thinking about is, what does that look like long-term in towards of shifting things around? Change is hard for people. So to say, okay, you're gonna go to a new school and you're gonna stay here is very difficult for families to hear. And so what we're trying to do is, if we're able to increase just a little bit of space in different places, so that if we have to have a 7 classroom model, because those are the amount of families who choose not to go to a magnet school, because that really is what causes your
Yes.
7 classrooms, is that Still Meadow Community wants to stay in Still Meadow Community. That's good news.
It's
That's
very
exciting. We have the same thing at Stark. Stark Community wants to stay at Stark. You all have, your preference zone is Strawberry Hill. So is Stark. And those numbers have not been going up. There are some families that choose that option, but others that don't. And so when you have that and you say, wow, the Still Meadow community seems to want to stay here, then we need to create a space for you all that would make it so that you all can stay in your community if that's what you would like to do. Yeah.
Yes.